People say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And while I do agree, it's probably not for the reasons you think. Now, when I say breakfast, I mean it literally. It doesn't mean the first thing you eat in the morning. It means the first thing you eat to break your overnight fast. And that can be at any time of day. So even if you are intermittent fasting and pushing your first meal back, what you eat matters for the same reasons. The first thing you eat sets the tone for the entire day. It determines whether your blood sugar stays stable or whether you're on that roller coaster of spikes, crashes, and cravings. And this is where most people get it wrong. They're starting their day with foods that are low in protein, high in carbs, and easy to overeat. Things like cereal, toast, smoothies, even healthy options like granola or acai bowls. And then they're wondering why they're hungry again at 10 a.m. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 high protein breakfasts that I have on repeat that keep my blood sugar stable. These are simple, realistic, and they actually work. And number 1 is probably not one you would expect, but it's the one I rely on the most. Now, before we get into the meals, we need to quickly talk about protein, because this is the foundation. It slows digestion, it reduces how quickly glucose enters your bloodstream, and it keeps you full for longer. And beyond that, it actually impacts your hormones. Higher protein meals lead to lower insulin spikes compared to high carb, low protein meals. And they help regulate hunger hormones, which means fewer cravings later in the day. So instead of constantly thinking about food, you feel satisfied. And this is especially important if you're trying to reverse insulin resistance, if you have high fasting blood sugar and you're trying to bring it down. Because the goal isn't to eat less. It's to eat in a way that keeps your blood sugar stable, that minimizes insulin spikes. Now, a good target for breakfast is around 30 grams of protein. That is where you'll start to see a noticeable difference. And once you start to hit that consistently, everything else becomes easier. Less snacking, better focus, more energy. And if you've watched my video on micro habits that help you reverse insulin resistance, this is one of the core things I talk about. You don't need extreme diets. You need simple habits that you can actually stick to. So let's get into the breakfasts, starting with number 1. This is honestly one of the most underrated options, and one that I rely on, because most dinners are already built around a good source of protein. Things like chicken, beef, salmon, or lamb. So instead of trying to come up with different breakfast meals, you just eat what you had the night before. Now this sounds simple, but it works. And it removes a lot of the decision making. You don't have to think about what to cook. You don't have to plan what you need to prep. It's already there. Now, a lot of people overcomplicate things. They think breakfast has to look a certain way. Eggs, toast, cereal, something breakfasty. But your body doesn't care the exact foods you eat at an exact time of day. It just responds to what you eat. So if your goal is stable blood sugar, having something like leftover steak and vegetables is actually a much better option than cereal or toast. It's usually higher in protein, more filling, and is going to keep your energy up for longer. This is one of the easiest ways to hit your protein target without even trying. Carry that into breakfast, you're starting ahead. If you're someone who struggles with breakfast, with figuring out what to eat, or you're someone who's always in a rush, try this. Just use what you already have. Option number 2 is a 3-egg omelette with smoked salmon and avocado. And this is one of my go-tos when I want something fresh. It has the perfect combination of macros for blood sugar stability. You've got eggs for protein and fats, plus micronutrients, smoked salmon for additional protein and omega-3s, an avocado for healthy fats and electrolytes. You've got a mix of mainly protein and fat, which helps to stabilize blood sugar. Eggs are a classic breakfast option, but for good reason. They're nutrient dense, easy to cook, and very filling. And using 3 eggs gets you a solid protein base straight away. Then adding the smoked salmon is going to help you to get to that 30-gram threshold. You're increasing your protein, but you're also increasing your omega-3 fatty acids, which help to reduce inflammation and are linked to better insulin sensitivity. Then the avocado adds healthy fat, which helps satiety and also supports hormone health. This is especially important for women. We need to be getting enough fat at our meals, and especially at breakfast. And when you put them all together, you have a meal that keeps you full for hours. And your blood sugar is one steady line. No mid-morning crash, no need for a snack before lunch. This is simple, delicious, and effective. Now, if you do want to add some vegetables, if you want to add some leafy greens, if you want to add some mushrooms, that can all be included. But the core is protein first, fat second, and then add the rest. This is a quick and easy option. This works for days when you don't have time or you just want something simple. But there are a few key things you need to make sure you're doing right with this meal. First is the yogurt needs to be plain. And ideally you want Greek yogurt, nothing flavored. Flavored yogurts are not only high in sugar, but they're lower in fat. This is the opposite of what we want for blood sugar control. Plain Greek yogurt is the opposite. It's low in sugar and high in protein and fat. This is a much better base. And then from there, you can add your own fruit and toppings. My go-to is frozen berries. Berries are lower in sugar compared to most fruit. They won't spike your blood sugar in the same way. Now, while Greek yogurt does have a decent amount of protein, depending on how much you're having, it might not be enough to hit 30 grams of protein. And this is where mixing in a high quality protein powder can help. Quality matters with the protein powder though. Choose one with minimal ingredients, no added sugar, and no artificial sweetener. I'll link to some of my favorite brands in the description box down below. But I want to highlight that this is a supplement. It's meant to fill the gaps, not to be the main protein source you rely on. So if you can hit your protein target through food, that's always the priority. But for something quick and convenient, this can be a good option. So when you look at these 3 breakfasts, they all have a few things in common. They're built around protein, they include healthy fats, and they avoid that high sugar, low protein combination that leads to blood sugar spikes. And this is what makes the difference. It's not about being perfect, it's about acting consistently. If most of your breakfasts look like this, you're gonna feel a difference. Now, on the note of carbohydrates, as long as you have enough protein and fat at that first meal, you can add a few in. Don't get me wrong, I sometimes have a slice of sourdough with my eggs. I might add a little bit of honey on my yogurt if I'm doing a workout afterwards. Context matters. There's no 100% right or 100% wrong answer. If the breakfast you're currently eating is working for you, if you're progressing towards your goals, if you're feeling good, if you're seeing results, keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anyone tell you that what you're doing is wrong if it's working for you. But at the same time, if it's not working for you, maybe you've been eating one of these breakfasts I spoke about today and you're not feeling great, then change things up. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below what your go-to breakfast is. Hopefully we can get a list going there to give you guys some more inspo. And if you're curious what other small habits can help you to control your blood sugar, to lower your insulin, to reverse insulin resistance, check this video out next, because small changes add up.